What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Another day in these crazy markets. I can't believe the market did me like this. Yeah. Um. So the move that happened today was the move that I was expecting yesterday, and the market chose to do this the day that I'm not on the charts. That's the biggest thing. The day that I'm not on the chart is the day that I get the move I was expecting. So I was a day late. But oh well, let's get right into this price action. So today we had a pretty decent sell off from the overnight session coming all the way down into New York. We kind of accelerated. And right around 10, I would like to say, around 9 to 10, we started reversing and we pretty much flipped the daily candle green. So we went back green and went all the way back up to this level right here. This is a new week opening gap. I think we went back to this new week opening gap as well as this order block here. And we actually closed back inside of this range, leaving this candle as a green. They call this a doji or a hammer or pin bar. And the weekly candle swept the previous week's low. Now, this is just crazy. Swept the previous week's low as well as this internal liquidity, and we tap back into this order block slightly before returning back up here. So, didn't end up flipping the weekly candle back green. It almost did, but we end up kind of just trickling back down to end the day. And all this time yesterday when I was buying, this was the kind of move that I was expecting because I know we're not necessarily going to sell off. So I was expecting this kind of a pullback. Even though we can still come back down to fill this week in a bit more, I'm thinking we might gap up next week and then come back down and then fill the gap a little bit or come back into this week before going back up. Let's get down to the 4 hour. See what the 4 hour looks like. So this is the end of the week, end of the second week in November, and this is what the weekly profile looks like. So this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, and this is from last week, Friday. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. So 5 days worth of price action, and Wednesday formed the high of the week before we sold all the way down here. So this is the current weekly profile that it looked like. So sell off, consolidated at the highs in premium, and then we sold all the way down to discount. And so as soon as we came into discount, tapped into this 4 hour order block, we just ran the previous daily low. It wasn't, well, it's not the previous, is it? It's not the previous daily low, but the last week, the previous weekly low. So last week's low tapped into this 4 hour order block and retraced completely. And I think SPX, US 500, well, this is some type of SMT now because it didn't come down and run the low. Let me see what US 30 did. I don't think it made it close to down there because it's mainly the tech stocks that sold off that caused us to do this big drop off before pivoting. So the Dow actually made all-time highs this week while the Nasdaq didn't, and I don't think the S&P did either. No, we didn't. So we have a lower high here, didn't form a lower low, but you know it is what it is. And the funny part about it, this move I could have recovered all of the losses. So all of the losses that I took yesterday, I could have made back um today. But that is how it happens when you're not on the chart as consistently as you would like to. As today when this reversal came in, I was at work. Like I said in the previous video, I knew I knew we could have reversed. And that's the thing. When you get the good opportunities and then you miss out on them, that's what tends to happen. So see, this is the 4 hour candle that did the reverse, and this is I think it's a 10 a.m. This is a 10 a.m. candle. So we form a little bit of a weak manipulation, and in 1 hour we reverse all of this price action and nice little manipulation. So 10 a.m. then 11 a.m. Nice little manipulation continue, and by lunchtime get a next little manipulation and just continue. And this is the kind of price action that I like. I'm not really a short seller. I don't really like short in the market, to be honest. So you know, but it is what it is. As a trader, you have to be versatile and know how to navigate different types of price action. So, like I said, we traded, we kind of have a little gap up, traded up from the midnight open here, and then we traded down, sold off during London, and then came right back up to close the day. Let me see what gold did. I think I took a few little scalps on gold as well. I took a few trades to and gold. So let me see. Yeah, so we sold off heavy on gold. Sold off heavy on gold. Let me see what the 4 hour looks like. And like if you notice, I just changed the chart color. So on the 4 hour on gold, this is the daily time frame. So yesterday formed the high of the week. Yeah, yesterday formed the high of the week before we sold off, come back into this daily fair value gap. I took some buys and some sales on it, but like when you just wake up and jump on the charts, it kind of just mess up the thing. So we traded up into this gap. This is a new week opening gap after being bullish, and looks like we're just coming right back down. This could be an opportunity to get back into go back higher, but yeah. Let's get down to the lower time frame. Now we're using this 15-minute chart. Let me zoom out this thing now. You can see the amount of trades that I took yesterday caused me to mess up. Account still in drawdown. I think I lose like $70 today. Yeah. So see, this candle sweep below a final liquidity sweep. And even on this 15-minute chart, once this candle had flipped back bullish, you could have entered. And I don't think this was in the macro, but sometime a little bit after. I look on the lower time frame after. But beautiful reversal. So I took a buy here. This went into profit a little bit. I was expecting us to go higher because we did a little bit of sweep here, but it wasn't a key level. But that's the thing. Some of the time when you really zoom in, I was thinking buys still. So this is the only trade. I think I took this is the only trade that I took on Nasdaq today. Sold all the way, and this is from late London coming into New York open this morning around 4 a.m. thereabout that I took this buy before we floored it, come all the way down and then rallied all the way back up to the upside. And gold, I took some scalps as well. Let me see. Not the time frame default. And gold, this is what it looks like. Turn on the trade history. Yeah, this is where I took some little scalps before we just sold off completely. Had I held one of those sales that I took, I could have made back a chunk of money as well. I took some buys there and I took some sales. But that's what happens when you zoom in too much on the time frame and focusing too much on the lower time frame. But it is what it is. Risk management save us and we live to fight our next day. Now I won't even go over the price action like on these lower time frames. This is the 1 minute and you can clearly see on the 1 minute. So this was where I got stopped out and the buys that I took we sold all the way down. This is the 1 minute and you can clearly see where we went from a market maker buy model and finally did a sweep, got a nice little inversion here, and we just started running. I don't know if any news or anything specific came out, but using my entry technique, I could have gotten it in here, and you could have get a better risk to reward here inside of these macros. I wasn't getting this kind of price action yesterday, trust me. Nice little buy opportunity here with a low risk entry, even here using the fair value gap. Here again, nice entry. Here again, using this as a order block, nice entry here. This was a bit too high, but you could have scalped it here or added into the trade. But these were the perfect entries inside of here, as well as over here. Once we did a change of character and return, this was a nice little sell also coming down. And to end the day, we came back down into here. But this buy that went up like this, nice little trade as well as from this order block. So some nice price action today, day when I wasn't on the charts. But like I said, we live to fight another day. That's the aim of the game. Capital preservation, risk management, and discipline saves you most of the time. Um, and goal, let's see what goal chart looks like. Loading the right template here. Oh, that's not the right one. Let me see. Goal. Load out. Alright. Yeah man. So this is the this is the correct template on goal. So see the big sell off and we kinda just give a little bit of a rally back here. Let me actually go to a higher little bit of a higher time frame chart. It's a 5 minute. And like I said, like guys, if you're really patient and you're really waiting for these markets to trade out, like really play out, like you can get some beautiful trades on these charts. You just have to be patient and selective with the trades that you're taking. So this is a mainly sell opportunity for gold. I was buying inside of here. In hindsight, you can see where you made some crazy mistakes, but in the real time, it's not so easy to identify. Now let's go to trading view and look at how these moves played out with the macros. So here I took this buy here. Now follow through. Went into a bit of profit before this thing stopped me out. I think I took it off here before we got down to here. But looking back now, I see where we could have capitalized on some sales. So let's quickly go over here. So sell opportunity from over here in London. We ran these highs. This would have been a nice little top here for a sell. Here also, we had a tap back into this range. Nice little sell opportunity here. We get a little retracement around these highs right here, and we went back up. Once you got the inversion here, you could have gotten into sales right inside the macro instead of me looking for buys. The market bias was down. The order flow, institutional order flow was to the downside. So I don't know why I was looking for buys when I should be looking for sales, because the higher time frame, if I look back at say even the 15-minute chart, let me go to the 15-minute chart. Clear this. Go to the 15-minute chart. Look at the 15-minute chart. This is clearly showing me sales. This was a day. Yeah. And this is a classic TGIF Friday. Buy. Friday reversal. Friday reversal. So clearly, if I was looking at the PO3 candles, I can see clearly that these were going down. But the thing is, when these markets are selling off, most of the time the price action is the easiest to trade as compared to the buys. The buys are fast sometimes, but with the sell off, this one retrace a bit. So you kind of get tripped up in some of these kind of price action. But nevertheless, you could have still capitalized on the opportunities that presenting themselves. But like I just looking back at the order flow, like we've been selling off from, this would have been, should have been Thursday, Wednesday, Friday. So clearly a sell off before we reverse in the middle of the session. Now coming back to trading view. So see, this kind of just consolidated a bit before we ran these lows. As soon as 9:30 came, we went down, gave us this Judas move to the downside, and so the perfect entry here using this inversion, or you could have entered using the manipulation, after the manipulation, and you realize because this is where if you look at, where is it? If you look at the daily chart, I want to go to the weekly chart. Hold on. Let me clear this. Go to weekly. And so you have to be agile and versatile to trade these markets. Like if you're not mentally prepared, then this thing won't be the easiest for you. Because trading isn't hard. It's just the discipline, the risk management, following the rules, and the money just comes as a byproduct. So we didn't make it back down to the end, the new week opening gap. But see, right here where we ran this low, I want to make this line a little bit thicker style. Where do I change it? As a text coordinate style. I think is one of these, Alright, see, make it thicker like that. Let me go back down to the 3 minute or the 1 minute. See right here. So see, this is the 9:30 open right here. This is the previous weekly low, and this is the key level that we ran below. So right here is where the sensitive here. So see, we ran it, came back up inside this macro, and they keep on checking out and outside the macro 9:30, but it's still inside the New York kill zone. We got this first rally up, and then now see, using going just use this right here. We got this buy inside this macro. So once you realize we ran the key level, that's the narrative. Ran the key level here, even a little lower time frame sweep here. If you didn't get an entry here and didn't want to chase, wait for the macro. Inside this macro, we got a nice buy opportunity using this as an order block. and we could have entered right here. Outside of that, we got this entry here outside of the macro. We retested the level like a breaker using this as a fear value gap. There was another entry here. Then inside this macro again, this would have been 11, 10.50 to 11.10 macro. We got a nice buy again using this as a this is the range as a demand level. Realize we came down, tested here. Maybe I would have taken this and gotten stopped out, but we came down, tested here, and we rallied from here. If you're using the 5 minute alongside the 1 minute, you could have gotten here. Nice little entry, because even though we're all the way up in the range, the target to the upside would have been the previous session highs and so. So if I look, I'm going to look to the left and see, but like looking at this price action here, the risk to reward is so good if you know how and where to enter. So right there and right there. Let me clear these. So even though you kind of look at it like you're late in the trend, look, you have a 30 pip stop there, 30 point stop there, and to the highs, this is over 150 pips to the highs. And if you take it further, it's almost 200 pips based on the entry that you get, even if you enter a little bit late in the candle. Set the stops below the low. It's just crazy. Down here is the same thing. Enter on this candle here. By the time you get to up here, it's over 100 points. And even if I'm risking $50 per trade, this would have netted me. This is 1 to 6. So this is been over $300. This would have been another $300 for the buys. This is a bit of a sideways movement in lunchtime. This is the lunchtime macro. And see, as soon as lunchtime kind of ended, we came back down here again and we got a buy opportunity inside this macro. Short term still is a PM session on a Friday. So not expecting much. Then here we came back again. Nice to buy opportunity inside this macro. We should have been the PM silver bullet using this as a fear for the gap. We could have entered there. Didn't get much, but you got to expect that on a Friday after the market did all of this aggressive move for the entirety of the week. Then now we could have gotten another opportunity here using this as a order block for the last macro of the day, the kill zone, the power hour. We could have gotten a nice sell off here. By then, if you missed all of these moves, then you would have to wait for these. Or if you caught any of these, you could have just called it a day and waited until next week. But I didn't take any of these trades in the PM session. But we got some nice moves. Nice moves. I can't even be pissed off because it's not my fault. It's not my fault. But it is what it is. We have to just go and come back again next week and see if we get some better price action. So I was trying to switch to the gold chart, but it seems like is this thing is frozen. It seems like the browser is frozen. But well, I guess we just have to end the video here. Don't know why this thing is frozen. Hold on, let me try. Alright, so we got it to unfreeze and go again. So let me just go over the gold chart quickly. Clear this thing. Go over the gold chart quickly. So see from London looking at this, some nice sell opportunities just came up, retested, drop, came back up again, retested, drop inside this macro. Nice sell here, nice sell here, nice sell here. Just taking us all the way down. The one trade that I took, I think it was somewhere around here. I need to start paying some more keen attention, but sometimes when you wake up and you just jump on the charts without being fully alert, you know? I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses, but sometimes when you're exhausted after a long day at work and things, it's not so easy, you know? But you have to just push through. Now in the new year here, we kind of just have a little rally back here. Nice little Judas move here. Sweeping this macro would have been the 950, 850 to 910 macro. So right at the 10 o'clock, 9:30, we had this push. During the 10 a.m. we got this nice little push as well, continuing up higher and higher. And we just kind of just ranged out for the rest of the day. Not much move, but after a big drop like this, not expecting much. So that is it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.